moment after the sort of heady heights of White Ladder and the sort of crazy, innocent, ascendant rush that we had, just unlocking doors and going up and up and up and up and up until we were completely pissed out of our heads. And high on life, too. Then we got back to the recording process of what had been a very unself-conscious thing that happened in my spare room, making White Ladder, no money, all the rest of it. Suddenly we were in a different position, and not only that, the world had changed, for me anyway, in lots of different ways for all of us, though. We had the success of White Ladder on our shoulders then, and my wife had just had a baby. That had been a bit of a trauma. She ended up in intensive care, and my dad had died, and I think just each of those things on their own would have been quite enough, thanks very much, but piled up together, it all kind of came into the atmosphere of that album in lots of ways, obvious ways and less obvious. And I think maybe just because of that, it contains memories I haven't resolved, really. So I haven't been playing the songs from the record very much over the years. So this is another one from that record, but it's the first song I wrote for my father after he died, and it doesn't have the dark shadow of grief cast through it in the way that some of the others do, because he kind of performed a magic trick, and it was like a puff of smoke and he disappeared, sort of thing. It was crazy. So I was in Los Angeles, and he was very ill at this point, and making a video, which I loved making videos. They're so much fun. This one involved me having water poured on my head non-stop for about 3 days. I was a man under a cloud. It was a genius idea for this year's Love. So I was out in the desert having water poured on my head, and the phone rang, and it was my dad, and he just said, "Son, I think you should just come home now. It's getting worse." So thank fuck for that, I thought. Anyway, I was out at the video, flying back home. I drove down to Wales, and we all went down there, the whole family. Went down to his house, and we didn't really know how much time we had left. He said, "Look, I want to have a party. Here's my address book. Invite everybody, you know, all my friends. I want everyone to come down." So we sort of booked all the B&Bs, hotels, everything. We had a big party at his house. Then he wanted a golf match. He was a mad keen golfer, so we had a golf match on a Sunday in the pissing rain in Wales. And the club just kept flying out of his hands, but he carried on. We did 9 holes, and then the guys came down and we played a gig for him in the golf club, which sounds kind of, this is like a tin shed with a sort of, but we played a gig for him in what was the golf club, and then there was a dinner and a dance and everything, and then we took him home, and the next morning everybody left, and we went out to say goodbye to everyone, and when we got back to the house, he hadn't got up or anything, and they just said, I think he's going downhill a bit now, and then he was dead by 1 o'clock in the morning, so he kind of just, the lights went out, and it was, obviously there was a shock, emotional shock, but then was, what came next was all his plans for the funeral, which he'd made and left for us. So we were in sort of chapel-going Wales, so the first thing was no one could wear black, so we had to go around to everyone who wears black anyway on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You can't wear black, you have to wear bright colours and celebrate his life, and they just looked at us like we were mad, and we were kind of, oh God, this is mad, isn't it? And then we went to the flower lady, and he'd already had a word with her, and nothing over 25 quid. Your father's had a word with me. Best I can do is carnations made into a footballer. That'll have to be it. It was, I'd never noticed him going to church. Let's just put it like this. I'm not casting any aspersions on the church or its impeccable moral foundations, but let's just say I'd never really noticed him going to church, and then suddenly the dean came to see us and said, "Your father's been to see me. We'll be having a full service in the cathedral for your father." I was like, what? I thought, backhander, fucking backhander. It's just like football religion, you know. So anyway, whatever it was, he maybe helped keep the roof on or something with a donation, but we were in the cathedral, so it was like the A-list funeral, so we had the full send-off. Then there were the rest of he wanted to be buried in a coffin made of chipboard, which we had to paint with blackboard paint and paint the words "More money for the NHS" on the side. He wanted to be delivered to the 1,200-year-old cathedral doors in his mate's builder's van. It was just like, so we were kind of like giddy with all this mad stuff. Not only that, but we'd only just said goodbye to everyone, and we had to call them up and say, the funeral's on Friday, can you come down again? So then we booked everywhere out, they all came down. There was a massive wait, and this went on for a couple of days, and my friends came, and we all got blasted and whatever. So then just after that, I thought, God, I need to sort of decompress, really, and we were in a kind of giddy state. And I went to my wife's sister's, and she had a little piano. I didn't own a piano at the time, and I just sat down, and this little song came out, and it has this kind of magic quality to it, because I felt like, yes, it's obviously not what you want, losing your dad, but it's also a gift to be there with somebody and see the end of something. There's birth and there's death, and those are the only two certainties. So this was a gift I felt. I felt enriched, and it changed my life forever. It changed the way I weigh everything in life, every emotional exchange. It's gave me a sort of relative value, if you like. So it was an amazing thing. Anyway, we had this mad week, and we were kind of high on it all. That's the only really the way to say it. After the shock of him dying. And I wrote the song, and the title is Last Boat to America, and I think the reason I gave it that title was he said something to me just before he died. He said, it's not dying so much as all the stuff I'm going to miss. And I thought, and that comment has really got me like so many times over the years. I thought, yeah, right, okay. And we'd done the legwork, we'd got the success. But in America, it takes a lot of legwork, and we'd been around 5 or 6 times, and we were going back for one more circuit. Just after he died in April, we were going back to America, and it was Radio City Music Hall, Universal Amphitheatre. It was like massive Uber venues. It was big stuff. He could see that on the horizon. He was like my biggest fan. He didn't want to miss it. So anyway, that's why I think this song is called Last Boat to America.
First
make me